Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a Thursday live stream. It's always good to have everybody joining in as people roll in. It's going to be interesting to see if we get the same group today, because I don't know about where you are, but it is dumping snow out here. It woke up to about probably 20 centimeters of snow, which for the West Coast here, we do get good dumps of snow, but not usually kind of the end of February. So that wasn't a pleasant surprise. I went and shoveled off the car today, and I think I put my back out because there was literally, I don't think it even fit in the screen, tons of snow on the car. So hopefully wherever you are, you've dug out and you're warm inside. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thanks for everybody if you're watching on the replay. Always appreciate all the watches, and everybody that's live, always appreciate as well. If you want to join live, if you're watching on the replay, you can join us 8 o'clock a.m. Pacific time, Monday to Friday, and we're here. So let's see who rolls in today on this wintry late winter day. I don't know. I think it's a good day to, if you can, stay home, make coffee, and try and stay warm, I think. So we'll see who's here today. Candace, good morning. Candace is first one here. Again, welcome, and it's always good to have you here. Abigail, welcome. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. And Nadia's here. Hey, Nadia, good morning. You didn't get any snow. I was going to message you earlier. I was going to send you a message to see, but yeah, tons of snow here. It's kind of stopped. Bear any noise, because I think outside they're starting to do the plowing, and there's somebody going by with the snow blower to clear the sidewalks, and yeah, it's kind of ugly. The roads don't look good. So, and I know from Twitter, I follow a few people in Ontario, and I think a lot of the schools in Ontario are closed. I think maybe Candace, you could see. Let me know how Ontario is. We'll see how that goes. But basically, yeah, stay warm. Stay warm. Let's go. And who is here? Sean's here as well. Hey, howdy. And so was the groundhog? I guess he's right. Longer winter. Maybe after this dump of snow here, maybe it will turn around and the blossoms will maybe start to come out. We'll see what happens. Let's go, Candace. Always good to have you back. Hopefully, I think you're feeling better now, because you are back, and. We get your joke of the day, which is awesome. ChatGPT joke of the day. The man in the tomato costume wanted to trade in for a stock, but the stockbroker just looked at him and said, "I'm sorry, sir, we don't deal in produce." That's so bad. So bad. But those are good. Good old ChatGPT. Good old ChatGPT. Snow tomorrow in New Brunswick. So maybe we got it. I think maybe what's happening is it's coming west, or sorry, what am I saying? Coming from west to east. Maybe that's the case if it's going. Nick's good to have you here from Calgary. First time, I think, commenting, if I'm not mistaken. So welcome. Always good to have you here. Calgary's probably cold right now. I remember being in Calgary and it being February and being very cold, very cold. And I love these bad pun jokes. I love these stupid jokes. They're terrible. Terribly good. And let's see. I mean, I have. So my morning, of course, spent shoveling snow. I didn't get a ton of chance to pull up kind of much news articles and stuff like that to talk about. So it's open to everybody here. Let us know what's on your mind. It's always good to hear what people are doing. I do have one pulled up, but there is also some news, and I think Candace caught this. Yeah, that's definitely a facepalm joke. I think Candace caught this on my community tab I posted yesterday. I was literally 3 hours away from getting not getting channel monetization, but getting to be able to apply for channel monetization. 3 hours away as of yesterday. So I woke up this morning. There we go. We hit it. So I spent the morning as well, instead of digging into news, getting that sorted out. So I have done all the accepting terms and all that kind of jazz for YouTube. And so now the real wait begins. I have to wait for the powers that be to review the channel, and hopefully, I don't see why they wouldn't approve it, but get it approved, and then it's monetized. So that's pretty cool. Thanks, I guess. Thanks to everybody that's watching. That's who got me there. The subscribers, the viewers. It's great. So that's kind of cool. We'll see things as we go. Still plan to obviously keep doing these live streams on the channel going forward. Now that you see, I think a lot of people probably already saw some ads in front of the videos. I think YouTube puts those on a lot of times automatically, but now at least I'll be getting a couple cents or a penny or whatever it is for it. And the goal, this is kind of the goal with the channel, was to, keep creating videos, keep sharing content, and then use that extra little, little bits that do come in from eventually from YouTube, is put that into the TFSA and just keep kind of saving a little bit of a side gig and carry on with that. So thank you. That was kind of the big news today. Definitely really appreciate it. I will get a video film though for everybody that doesn't obviously always kind of catch the live streams. I'll do the big reveal thank you video for everybody that's definitely supported the channel. I couldn't have done it without the live viewers and without the channel viewers and regulars. So thanks. Yeah, thanks, Chad. It was good. Long road, almost 2 years. It would be, over basically, 22 months roughly. I started this channel April 2021, so it took a while. It's definitely a grind. Let me tell you. Anybody that's thinking of starting a YouTube channel, it's a grind. Stick with it. It eventually happens. It does take a lot of work and time, for sure, to be able to hit that threshold. So appreciate it. It's awesome. And there we go. That was the big news for the day. And as I can hear a blower in the background, so hopefully the sound is okay. I'm gonna be loud today. The only kind of news thing I grabbed today. Let me pull this up, make sure it's going to work properly. There we go. Oops, let's get the headline. Good old Netflix. We've talked about Netflix a lot, and they are reducing. Let's go to the top here. There is a little video. I'll get rid of that. But actually, you know what? My screen doesn't seem to be wanting to work today. Okay, well let's skip we'll skip the news, and I can talk about it, and we can talk about it. So basically what it was I'll look over here is Netflix is cutting subscription prices in a few countries just because of competition. Interesting, because this is coming right on the heels of they're kind of doing that, subscription crackdown, if you're sharing your password. So maybe they're seeing people start to maybe cancel in different countries, probably countries I'm going to assume that we're maybe sharing a lot of passwords. So it's coming across, they're cutting prices in, let me read here, over 30 countries, Yemen, Jordan, Iran, Kenya, Croatia, Venezuela, Indonesia, and others. So it doesn't list the whole one in this article, but they're cutting the price by roughly 20 to 45%, I guess, which is quite a bit. In the States, the standard plan is $15.49, and then the premium plan is $20. I think it's roughly the same in Canada. I'd have to look at what I pay for that. I should know better what I actually pay for Netflix. But they're kind of the highest, right? They're higher than Hulu, they're higher than Disney Plus, they're higher than HBO, they're higher than Paramount, and they're higher than Apple TV. I don't have Apple TV either. I just have Netflix. So interesting to see that they're doing that. Maybe we'll get a bit of a price. I doubt it. It's the thing that I don't think we'll see a price discount of Netflix in Canada, but that would be nice. I keep looking for ways to try and pull the plug on Netflix, but I watch it quite a bit actually. Usually watch shows or a movie at some point. So interesting. We'll see what happens with that. That was the one news article I had to share, and I don't for some reason the screen's not working, so I can't actually pull anything else up. Let me see if I can get it fixed, and we can always kind of look at what the Coffee Crew stocks are doing, that kind of thing. Let's see. And sometimes it's weird. I don't know why my system freezes, but anyways, technical difficulties. No. Bear with me here. Yeah, weird. Not cooperating today. Oh well. Okay. Anyways, we'll carry on. If you have questions, comments, let me know in the thing. In terms of market, haven't really looked at it too much today. I think we're in kind of that rough, kind of bumpy, weird up down phase. It seems like coming out. We had kind of a terrible few days. We'll see how things carry on. No plans right now for my additional deposits or anything in the TFSA, but. It's just carry on. The next one will be next deposit for me will be Monday. On that note, though, coming up to the 100th live stream, which is going to be actually on tomorrow, it'll be Monday. So that'll be actually the 100th live stream, which is awesome. Been plugging away at these. It's pretty good. It's crazy how time flies, and. We will have the 100th, 100th special. We'll maybe get to have a party or something like that online. But it seems to be still red today. It's kind of was up a bit in the morning, I saw, but it's kind of that not a great. I don't know. Doesn't look good. It's interesting how the market kind of does what it does, right? It's just you go from we have those couple weeks prior chat that's everybody's in a great mood and everything's great, but it's you get weeks like this. But I just think you take it as a bit of opportunity to average cost down if you're able to, and get your. I mean, for me, I'm doing the dollar cost averaging on those two ETFs, and it's just a time to dollar cost average and just kind of ride that this all out. Yeah, thanks, Sean. That's kind of the goal. I mean, that was the goal of doing it, and to keep it going no matter what, up down. It's just kind of, this is my goal, is to carry it through, and the goal of the portfolio is to get my TFSA up to $100,000. So I have to keep doing it. I have to keep investing if I want to get it there, whether the market's good, bad, ugly, great, whatever. So, but that's kind of what happens. I mean, the channel's not meant to be. There is a lot of YouTubers out there that, and you can see it because there's channels that I follow when the market's doing great, more people are interested into it, right? It's euphoria, and it's easier to create content when you're looking at your portfolio twice a week. I'm sharing my portfolio at least twice a week, and you want it to be. It's obviously better to do an update video when something is up as opposed to down. But that's you just want to. I want to be authentic in terms of what I'm doing and honest of what is happening and what I'm carrying on. So that's why I've continued on to do it, just to grind through it, and we'll be there on the other side when things eventually. I'm always an optimist. When things eventually ultimately turn around. That's the one thing about Netflix, and I always kind of think about that, Candace. Netflix, they need to bump their content strategy, and it is like you can sign up when your show comes on, and I have a friend that does that with what's the other one? Is it HBO? I can't remember. There's a show they watch on HBO, and then they just cancel afterwards, and I think that's partly why some streaming services start to release new shows in staggered, right? They don't put it. I mean, Netflix has always done it all at once, so you can binge it. And then you can cancel. But some of the other streams, I think it's HBO, they release weekly episodes. Some of the other ones could be as well. I'm not sure. And that way that keeps you in there for at least a couple months or 3 months for the season. But they do Netflix. Yeah, Netflix. They have some good. They do have some good content and releases, but it's kind of. It's just personal preference, right? It's few and far between, I think, for me. Like I did watch, obviously I watched Stranger Things. I like that one. But I also liked Narcos, and I liked Ozark, but Ozark's finished. Narcos is finished. And I think Stranger Things has one more season coming out, if I'm not mistaken. But the in-between time, it's kind of like, unless you find a decent movie. The issue I find, Netflix can be hit and miss with movies too, especially with their own content. A lot of times I find they have too many. There's some good subtitled and some good foreign movies that are on there, actually, some very good ones, but they do seem to have a lot of the foreign content on there right now, as opposed to I mean, because what's happened is a lot of the new releases, like, Paramount has their own streaming service and Disney has their own streaming service. So all the movies that you possibly want, you want to watch, go to those other services instead of Netflix, where normally Netflix would get them at some point. So interesting how it all works. And it's if you subscribe to every single streaming service, you're paying a fortune every month. So you can't really do that. So you have to kind of just, I don't know, pick your favorite and kind of just go with it and see. Yeah, I there's no show series or anything I'm watching on Netflix right now. I just kind of usually watch a movie I've even seen before, sometimes. So, I did kind of see that something with ChatGPT said the market is going to crash March 15th. Let's hope not. Maybe, but AI, I don't know. Maybe it's right. Maybe it's wrong. I don't know. There's always the bears and the bulls out there for everything, and it's easy to, I mean, who knows who's going to be right? I have absolutely zero idea. All I can do is kind of control what I can do, and I've decided, for me, the strategy through this year is literally just to kind of dollar cost average into a couple of the ETFs and some cash that I have, and then see if there's any opportunity along the way, but not going into really any new kind of investments or anything like that. Not selling any of the other ones at this point. I mean, the last one I sold was the RioCan, which that was ended up being a good trade-off and good trade to take profit from that one and put it into Tesla yield. The Tesla yield is doing quite well. Happy about that. I'm going to hang on to that one because the dividends right now are still the same. I think, Candace, you mentioned yesterday, and I checked it out. It's posted on the Purpose website. It's still the same amount. So I'm happy with that. We'll carry on with that. I think with the volatility of Tesla and stuff, it will do. Hopefully that one will do well, I guess, for the foreseeable future. We'll see how that pans out. But I'm definitely not super attached to that one. But I will we'll carry it on for now. I don't know if I'm going to add any to it. It seems, but possibly we'll be adding to the Tesla CDR. That's the goal. But again, back to that. It's just right now, it's this two ETFs: dollar cost averaging, VDY, VFE, and PSA. That's the goal. Zach, good morning. Always good to have you here. Welcome back. And I'm moving. If you see me moving around a lot today, this is my back. I've done something to my pulled a muscle shoveling, scraping and brushing snow. So my apologies. It's gonna be one of those rough days sitting at my desk all day. That's crazy. Not used to having to go push snow in the West Coast here. We don't get it that often. And let's just make sure I didn't miss any comments. No, I think I'm doing good. It's a relatively quiet bunch today. So if anybody, again, let's keep it going and if you have any questions, comments. Chad, what question for you? Anything else you're buying? I've seen you've left a few comments on the channel with a few different kind of ideas, but let us know in the live chat. See what others are kind of doing as well. I'm going to guess with Zach showing up. Zach is the XQT. I think probably still adding that. Hopefully, Zach, you're able to carry on your goal for the months of those. I forget how many your goal is each week or month, but hopefully you're keeping up with that. I haven't seen you in the channel as much. I know you're busy, so hopefully that gives you some more opportunity to add some more into that position. And we go. And then I don't think MC is watching today, but MC had mentioned a couple streams ago about, because once it happens, once the monetization starts, MC had mentioned, because I kind of want to put, just to kind of see where it possibly goes, is put it into some kind of separate investment, just to kind of to track, to be able to track it a bit better, what's coming through from any kind of monetization and stuff. So they were mentioning that it was to go into ARC of all ETFs. So that might be an interesting one to kind of try with a little bit of extra kind of fun money, I guess would be the best way to describe that. But we'll see how that goes. So we'll pick something out. So still doing 10 or 15 a week. That's awesome. Yeah, that one's attainable, right? With 10's what, it's about $25. So that's good. It's a good chunk that's going in there every week, especially if you can get up to 15, right? I think it's let me see where it's usually trading about $25, right? I can't unfortunately share the screen. Yeah, today it's 25.35 as of right now. So there you go. That's a good chunk that you're able to put in there. That's awesome. That's almost one I kind of at the beginning I should have maybe got into in my TFSA, but I do need to add some. You know what? I do need to add some more like global equities, but I kind of looked at it. I thought about adding some to my TFSA, but I do have exposure on the invest side, so I've kind of steered away from that and just kind of more focus on the two, VUI and VFE for now. But good ETF. There's that one. XEQT is really popular on Blossom as well. And there you go. The best time to add is today, never too late. It's true. And if you have that plan, right, this is what makes it kind of easy on these days and weeks that are ugly, is you just have to make sure you have to really make sure you stick with your plan and not be not deviate from it. Because if you have that plan, like for Zach, his goal is to add 10 or 15 of XEQT. You got to stick with it, whether it's up, down, or sideways. And you have that goal, you put that in, you hit those targets, and it will benefit. Because if you kind of start to second guess, that's when you miss out on things. And it's sometimes it's hard, right? You see the market and you're like, but you start to think of it more. As long as your budget is good, like for me, I'm budgeting $100 a week, and it's not whatever your budget ends up being. Even if your budget is $10 a week, just whatever it is, make sure you stick with it, and then you will. As long as you stick with it, you get used to making that purchase. You get used to making that, deposit out of, into your investments, and over the long term, right, dollar cost average for the win. It definitely works, and it takes, as you stick to the plan, I've kind of figured out, like it starts to be, after you do it for a few couple months or a few weeks, you start to just get used to that habit, and you still think about it, but it's just a force and it's a habit, and you're used to it, and the money is gone and it's in there. So it can take a lot of the emotion out of your investing, which is, I think, sometimes the biggest hurdle sometimes for adding stuff. But I've been adding AW.UN lately. I'm not sure what that is. Let's pull it up. Oh, A&W. Okay. A&W. Income, A&W Revenue Royalties Income Fund. Pretty cool. Good one. I can add that. I'm going to add that to the watch list for the crew here. Sorry, and again, I can't share the screen because it's not working today. It was working before I went live, but it's not working now and not cooperating. So there we go. Yeah, it's true though. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Chad. Eat or invest. Yeah, money is getting tight. A carbon tax, is going to be bumping up prices of gas, everything. It for sure is getting harder. It does get harder to invest, I think, but that, if you have your budget, hopefully you can stick with it, and it just makes it harder to have that extra little bit, right? That you normally might be able to put in at the end of the month. Whereas if you have whatever your budget is, $50 every payday or something like that, or $100 every payday, you can still kind of do it as long as it comes. You get it taken out, get used to have that going. But it's the extra little bit sometimes that you don't have at the end of the month. I noticed that too, for sure. It's everything's more expensive. Like I said, I got groceries over the weekend, and it was like you spend $200 on groceries, and you don't get that much. When you break it down, you look at the cupboards now and they're bare again. It's like, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Zach, okay, good call. So you're changing that up a little bit and getting into single company soon, allocating like 1% of the portfolio to it, looking into INTC with the recent drop and Shopify. I'm not sure of INTC. I'm going to look that one up. That's a good call. And your next comment makes a lot of sense, actually. Something to kind of think about, everybody. If there is a recession, and I think we're in there now. It just hasn't been called. People will definitely start their own side hustle businesses and utilize Shopify's platform. Good call. I think you might be onto something there. Oh, it's Intel. Okay, Intel. But that's a good. That's a good call. I'm gonna add Intel to the watch list here. Oops. I know with Shopify. Excuse me. They've also integrated it now with YouTube. I know that it's on there. So if people have like a YouTube merch and store and stuff like that, you can start to integrate your Shopify store and products into YouTube. That was fairly recent, I think, within the last 6 months. But interesting with good call with Shopify. Might be a lot of people kind of doing a lot of side stuff. I know there's one of the channels I follow on here. It's and I'm just horrible with remembering sometimes these. And then when I can see their channel, but I can't for the life of me think of their name. Hold on here. One sec. I got to look through my subscriptions. There we go. It's the channel. She's been on the live stream before. She's commented on my channel. Is the wealth, and if you're not following, follow it. The Wealth Generating Mom. I can share their link I'll put their link in the chat, so people can see it. There we go. So it's in the chat. You can check that out after. Wealth Generating Mom, a Canadian. I can't remember her name. I think it's. I think Candice would know because I think she's been on a live stream with Candice. I can't remember her name, but she's got a good channel, and she does that. What she does like a side hustle. I mean, she's got the YouTube channel, which is growing as well. But she does the side hustle selling stuff on, I think on eBay, and I think it might be on one of the other. What's the other platform? Is it Etsy? I think like that, where she resells used like old clothes, like where she does that kind of stuff on mostly I think eBay. And then what she does is I don't know, she must go through garage sales and stuff like that to kind of find these things. And then what she does is she puts a portion of her side gig into her Wealthsimple portfolio, which is awesome. So it's kind of fun to watch how other people are kind of trying different ways to make extra money to kind of be able to kind of put it in an investment. I think she's up to almost $3,000 or $4,000 now, just from kind of extra stuff that she's kind of doing on the side. So it can really add up. And the good thing is any kind of extra money is, and if you can invest the extra money, it's you can really see it kind of start to really snowball after a while, even if it's a little bit. Like perfect example, like in my portfolio, by cutting out technical difficulties aside with using a free product that can't share a screen sometimes, but cutting out StreamYard subscription, saving myself almost $34 Canadian a month. I can put that into BAM now, and it's the share is doing good. I'd have to log in here and see how much what it's doing and how my balance. But between investing with cutting back that StreamYard subscription, I'm up to roughly, it's roughly about, I've saved so far about $150. With some appreciation on there, BAM, and I have the BN as well. It's about 145. It's combined about $145. So that's money that would have been gone and spent on StreamYard. Obviously, if I needed that subscription, there's other ways to kind of figure things out for free. Obviously, as you're seeing today, without being able to screen share, they don't maybe always work the same way, or I'm just learning and not doing something properly. But there's different ways, like just with cutting back, and so whether it's a side gig or cutting back on something to be able to kind of start to build in your portfolio, and every little bit kind of helps. So, with like back to wealth generating mom, do that over 5 or 10 years. You're gonna have a good chunk of change in there. And minus 27 in Saskatchewan. Yeah, it's not that cold here on the west coast. It's we're sitting at it's about minus 4 today. So cold for here, and snow. But not the minus 27. So you're still buying more crypto, Gallus, Gali, ETH, Chainlink. Oh, lots of them. Yeah, crypto you can you can get better. They're definitely more volatile if you get the right. It just depends on what you're buying. I typically don't really buy any. I mean, you see my portfolio, Chad. The only one I buy outside of my portfolio is Bitcoin. I don't buy any other tokens or crypto, just Bitcoin. And then in my portfolio I have the ETF of Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I don't have any Ethereum on Ethereum, like big separate. And the thing with the other tokens, they're definitely chances for gains, but you have to really research what you're buying, and I just don't necessarily have the time to do it. And I prefer just to kind of buy Bitcoin. It makes things simple. I usually do a kind of a dollar cost average in Bitcoin too with ShakePay, and I buy that every day and then put it into. I transfer it into my ledger, off the exchange about every week. I kind of take it off and move it over and just let it sit. And then we'll wait and see. We'll see what happens. It might go to zero. It might. I might be retired, or not necessarily even just retired. Have held a bit of wealth or what I've saved and hasn't lost too much over the next maybe 20 years. We'll see what happens. Not selling it. I actually don't pay too much. It's not a crypto channel, but I don't pay too much attention to Bitcoin price. I mean, obviously you want to see it go up, but just kind of watch it a little bit. But it doesn't affect if I'm buying it or not. I just kind of do dollar cost average for the win. That's my goal. And it is, like I said, it's a small percentage of my overall portfolio is in crypto. My TFSA it's roughly 5%, just a bit over probably with them both. And in terms of whole portfolio with everything, even with Bitcoin on the blockchain is 5%, not even. So it's a small portion. MC, good to have you here. Thanks for joining. Good to have you. Missed you at the beginning. As the news goes, I finally hit the watch time hours from YouTube. So thank you. Always good to have you joining on. It helps out the channel. I do appreciate it. I always appreciate your comments as you come through here. We had a few things to share. This is the recap. We had a few things. I had a couple of pages to share. We're going to look at some stuff, but the screen share is not working properly. So we're just kind of chatting and going on. Added a couple new stocks to the watch list, and just a few people are going over what they've kind of invested in. The consensus is dollar cost average and win, and we'll see how it carries on. Yeah, thanks. So that's good. Now the real waiting game is waiting for them to approve it. I'm trying to remember last time my other channel only took actually a couple of days, 3 or 4 days. I don't know if Candace is still watching. I think your channel was a couple days, 2 or 3 days as well to get approved. So we'll see how see what happens. I will try to keep refreshing it, and like in hopes that it will make it go faster, but I doubt it. So I'll just kind of wait. We'll have to wait and see. So that's good. But that was kind of nice to wake up to today. It was really close for a couple of days. Actually, kind of the last week, the hours would go like really close, and then of course it's a trailing 365 day average, total watch time. And so some days if you're not posting videos, it goes down. And so then it was teasing me for the last few days. And then it was teasing me. And then it finally I woke up this morning and it was done. So all good. Yeah. Oops, sorry. I'm on sec here. DCA. Yeah, it is. You do need to dollar cost average into the right things. Definitely. I mean, there's definitely, you don't necessarily want to dollar cost average into necessarily a penny stock or something like that. But I think an ETF, a good ETF is not the worst thing to do. We were talking earlier, MC, about XEQT, which we've always talked about a lot. Zach is still sticking with his goals on that one. And then for me, as you know, it's VDY and VFE, so those are carrying on. I don't think you can go wrong with those, and that's my strategy with that one. But yeah, definitely be careful. Of course, you want to make sure you're into the right thing. I think it works well with an ETF, with the exposures of ETFs for sure, or the right ETF. I guess that's another question, because there's definitely more volatile and riskier ETFs. You might just not want to, dollar cost average into something like ARC or something like that. But I think with an S&P or, something like XEQT, you can't go wrong. Canada's less than 24 hours. Oh, so maybe I will be rewarded earlier. We'll see. We'll keep everybody posted, but yeah. That's unfortunate. Sorry about that. You have to go if you're a seasonal worker, maybe, I'm not sure, but just try and save what you can. You could sell stuff too. That makes sense. Selling, if you can sell, if you don't need it or don't want it anymore, sell some stuff, put it into the market, sell it and don't blow it, I guess, would be the thing. Yeah, dollar cost average into Nortel would not have worked, but at the time it probably would have looked like a great idea. That's the thing. That's a good one. Is Nortel? I don't think they're even around anymore, are they? I don't think they are. That was one of the big boom and bust. That was before I was really investing. I remember hearing about Nortel in the news, but it's scary. So, but I don't think you can go wrong with more broad, like a market ETF kind of thing. You can't. I never say never, but something like I think the S&P is good to dollar cost average into personally. But again, do your research, figure out what's right for everybody. Some people might be more comfortable putting regular deposits into just something like a cash, PSA, something like that. Especially right now when it's making, close to 5. The dividend on that one actually has gone up. I think it's up close to 5% now, if I'm not mistaken. So nothing wrong with that in the short term, anyways, to be able to have some cash. And I know MC, you would mention you have quite a bit of cash. You're kind of sitting in cash, which I think a lot of people are on that. So, and there we go. That's it. I think they've shoveled all the snow out there, so that's good. I don't hear the things on the background anymore. Oh yeah, good call. They probably were massive on the TSX. Yeah. You could maybe, it must be a way to look back and figure what that would have been back in the time. You'd have to kind of see. There must be somewhere that has that. But it would have been big on there. Yeah, for sure. I have to look and see VDY. I mean, VDY is heavily banks energy. It's not a huge portion of telecom. It's still high though, but it divided up obviously between the other ones. So yeah, interesting times. When did Nortel? I'm going to search. When did Nortel go bankrupt? Or are they still around? Probably got sold or something like that. They filed for bankruptcy in 2009, which triggered a 79% decline of its stock. Largest bankruptcy case in Canadian history. The bankruptcy finished in 2017. There you go. Crazy. I kind of forgot about Nortel. Oh, there we go. So sitting on so break it down into tranches to deploy over the next few months. Looks like we might be getting a support level close to. Okay, good call. Good call. Yeah, that seems like the case, right? That's the scary thing about with Shopify, right? It yeah, you get these massive companies, and then all of a sudden they do have it seems to be notorious with Canadian tech companies, but or the big companies, but like other ones, like maybe like go back to, we were talking about Lululemon yesterday, right? And it had I mean, obviously wasn't in tech, but it did the opposite of that. Have to see. Just don't put all your eggs in one basket, like we say. So there we go. All right. Well, we're coming up to about quarter two, which we end about 45 minutes. It's again, like, want to thank everybody for continuing to tune in onto these live streams. It's definitely appreciated. I do really enjoy the mornings, having a good chat. Keeps me motivated for investing and carrying, moving, keeping the channel moving and everything else. So it's I do really appreciate all this, some stuff. So yeah, Nortel, Valiant, and Canna, Shopify, to name a few. Yeah, those are some, that's the thing. That's what I think. That's kind of maybe why I've been leery a little bit with Shopify. I haven't. I mean, you see it in the news. You read a little bit about it. But I haven't followed it. Super closely, but that's kind of what you worry about, right? They have these companies that have these huge gains. I mean, it happened to kind of Tesla too, but not a Canadian company. But have to see what happens. Just be careful. Don't put all your, don't go all in on anything. Be safe. Yeah, I agree with that, Judd. I don't think it ever will. I don't know. I mean, I did mention if it goes to it's a very small percentage of my portfolio. If it ends up going to zero, which I don't think it will either. But if it ends up going to, I'll have to just take that lump and move on. That's the risk with any kind of investment. But I don't see it. I see it expanding just with everything that's happening with it in terms of with energy, with what they're building with lightning, and carry through. Oh, your biggest holding. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not a lot of people are all in on it, which is, yeah. And that is, yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't think something will, but it's you do never know. That's the thing. I mean, the thing with with Bitcoin, I don't think it will. But again, never is never. But you just don't invest in anything you can't afford to lose. And I think it's too big now to, I don't want to say not too big to fail, but I mean, that's the thing. There could be something better that comes out, right? That works better or is better for what it's trying to do. There isn't anything I've seen right yet. But again, yeah, it can be risky. But and it's true. Yeah, good call, MC. They can keep going. Yeah, can keep going. And then all of a sudden you look back and you're like, oh, this is way down. It's true. You can see that it doesn't. We see these days that are small, but those small decreases add up over time. And you're right, Zach. Two more to 100. We were talking about that earlier. So Monday would be the anniversary. So maybe you're right. It may be a monetized one, depending how long it takes YouTube to get going. We'll see. That might be Monday. There we go. It might be a celebration. It's celebrated enough. It's just, I think it's just the waiting game now is kind of things. Yeah, good call on Netflix. It's true. Just don't hold on to stuff. I think keep an open mind. Yeah, I don't think get married to any, don't get you know, too connected to anyone. Be open to get rid of it. Don't be too connected to something, you know, like for example Apple or something like that. If you're really, you know, get too attached, don't get too attached to something. Just cut it and run. Yeah, I don't think I'll be drinking on the live stream, Candace. Well, I don't drink, number one, but number two, it's at 8:00 in the morning, so probably not a good idea. Even if I did, I haven't had a drink. I have a beer every once in a while. I think I had a beer in the summer. That was it. I just don't really. There's still, I think, one or two in the fridge, but no, I don't. I won't be doing that at. I won't be doing that at 8:00 in the morning. Spiking my coffee. Yeah, we'll see what happens, Chad. I'm optimistic with it. I do a fair bit of research, and we don't talk about crypto a ton on the channel. I think people know I invest in it, but we don't. It's not a crypto focused channel, but I don't think it hurts to have a small percentage of your investment in something that's speculative like that. But and the adoption, yeah, I mean, it's for other countries. It almost serves a more bigger purpose for other countries than we do in the West here, you know, in terms of being able to access and transfer money to different places, especially places that don't have banking, right? Or you don't have a bank account or can't get a bank account, or yeah, lots of reasons for it. So it's evolving. It's interesting how it's evolving. That's the big thing. There we go. Well, coming up after quarter two now, I do have a busy day today, and so I do have to kind of cut this. Can't keep going. I would love to keep going longer and longer, but I can see out of the corner of my eye my emails are going off. So I just want to thank again everybody for watching. It's really appreciated. It's been a long sticking with the channel, supporting the channel by watching, joining these live stream, watching the other videos, commenting, liking. I didn't actually ask to say, hey, like the stream. I forgot to do that this morning. So if you, on the way out, make sure you do like the stream. It really helps out the channel. It's growing. I'm going to keep growing. Going to keep carrying on. Got some ideas for the channel going forward as we move into coming up on the 100th live stream will be Monday. So that will be good. Hopefully we can celebrate. And then on coming up in April is the 2-year anniversary of the channel, which is awesome. So on to bigger and better and growing things. So we'll leave it with Candace. That is great. Have a great rest of the day, everybody. I'm gonna go get an Advil or something for my back here because it is absolutely killing me from shoveling that snow. And we'll catch you all in the next one.